All right, so what I'm going to start looking at today is volume. All right, so when we were looking at area, we defined area, or we said area was the amount of 2D space that a shape takes up. So the area of a rectangle was the amount of space it would take up on a piece of paper, say. Volume is the amount of 3D space that a shape takes up. Okay, so we're going to be looking at three-dimensional objects like cubes and cuboids, all right? And what we are looking at is how much space they would take up in the real world. The area you've probably seen volume most in the real world is probably on, say, cans or bottles. You might see that the can holds 330 milliliters, or the bottle holds 2 liters or something like that. That's the volume of the bottle. That's how much, I suppose, liquid it holds. That's another way of looking at volume. It's how much, say, liquid that the shape could hold or contain. But before we look at shapes like, say, cans, we'll move on to those in the future. We're just going to look at, as I said, the likes of cuboids and cubes and how to calculate the volume of those. All right. If you cast your mind back to getting the area of a square or a rectangle, that was just the width multiplied by the length of the rectangle. So it would have a length, it would have a width, it would have two different dimensions. You would multiply those by each other. Okay. The volume formula is very similar. Okay, it's just that this time I'm going to multiply the length of the shape by the width of the shape by the height of the shape. Okay, so it's a 3D shape, so it has a third dimension. So we're just going to multiply those 3 dimensions together to get the volume. Okay, so for this shape here, and I'm doing the 3 examples which are in your book. Okay, so you can see these examples done out in full in your book as well. All right, and the volume of this shape here, as I said, the formula is the length multiplied by the width multiplied by the height. Okay, so it doesn't matter which one you call length, width, and height. There's 3 dimensions here, and you are multiplying them by each other. Okay, so I'll say it's 9 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 1.5. If you just plug those into your calculator then, 9 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 1.5 is 48.5. I'll just press change to get it as a decimal. So 40.5 is the volume of that shape. And then just always give your units in these questions. So the question was in centimeters. So my answer for volume is going to be in centimeters cubed. Okay, so again, if you remember back to area, your answer in an area question was always the units squared. In a volume question, it'll be centimeters cubed or millimeters cubed or meters cubed. Okay, the reason cubed, the reason the power of 3, because you're multiplying 3 dimensions by each other. Okay, so volume dimensions will always be cubed like that. All right, if we go on to this next one over here. All right, so volume formula again. Always write your formula out, even though you're doing it on the calculator, putting as much down on the page as you can. So it's going to be length multiplied by width multiplied by height. All right, so I'll call the 8 the length multiplied by, I'll call 4.5 the width multiplied by, I'll call 5.5 the height. And I'm just going to multiply the 3 of those together. 8 multiplied by 4.5 multiplied by 5.5 is 198. And again, questions in centimeters, so answer is in centimeters cubed. Okay, so just watch out. That can be millimeters, it can be meters as well. Just give whatever units you're given in the question. Make sure your 3 dimensions are all the same in the question. They're all centimeters, or they're all meters, or they're all millimeters. In this one, they're all centimeters, so my answer is in centimeters cubed again. Okay, just to say, a lot of these area and volume formulas, we don't need to learn them. They're in the first few pages of that formula book that we get in the exam. This is one of the ones we need to learn. Okay, we need to know how to do it. So just like the kind of area of a square or a rectangle, because the formula is so simple, it's just the 2 dimensions by each other. In this one, it's just the 3 sides by each other. They don't actually give it to us in that formula book. So we need to know this, that to get the volume of a rectangular shape like this, a cuboid or a cube as we have over here, it's the 3 dimensions by each other. Okay, this one over here then is a cube, so the 3 dimensions are the same. Maybe let's call that my width, maybe my length, and there's my height. Okay, so for a cube, they're all the same, but I still use the same formula. So it's length multiplied by width multiplied by height. So that is 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5. Just plug that into your calculator. 5 by 5 by 5 is 125. Question is in centimeters, so my answer is in centimeters cubed. But again, just highlighting, my answer has 3 lines in it. One where I write the formula, second line where I put the numbers into the formula, and a third line where I give my answer. Okay, I know you're getting this answer by using your calculator, but don't just write the answer down. Okay, so you want to show your work as much as possible. So this is what your answers should look like. Okay, 3 lines in them like this. All right.